on YouTube. I'm experimenting with different camera angles, so I don't know if the sound will work on this. I think if I stand maybe over here, not in front of the amp again, it'll make a difference. This is, good afternoon, I got home early, it's Friday. This is my new Godin, an lgsp90, I think, because it's got P90 pickups in it. Oh, this is quite good because I can hold it up, you can see them. You can see there's Seymour Duncan's. Got a cool, it's got a recessed bridge, see that it's sunk in low, like that. It's also, main points about this, I notice anyway, is see how low to the body the neck is. Hold it at the right angle, you can see it, dunk. It's really tight in, so the neck's right down there. Which that's why they had to sink the bridge down. You know, so the whole thing's very sleek. But what it does mean is when you're playing it, it's much more in. You know, you're kind of much more on top of it. You can actually see. I can see the fretboard. That might be to do with this cut here, which is very deep. It really does work as a concept. Really the only reason I looked at this is because it was cheap, and because it's gold, and it's a really nice, super flaky gold finish. Who doesn't want a gold guitar? Well, I do anyway. It was cheap because there's a neck break that had been repaired with PU glue. The headstock had come off back away a bit. You can't really see the cracks at the side, but you can see it in the next to the crudely made truss rod cover. But it had been glued up previously by with PU glue, so I know I've done that before myself, so I know exactly what it is. And the truss rod still works. The truss rod cover was split in half, obviously something to do with the damage, so I could actually draw around it, but the piece of wood I had was much thicker than the bit that was on it, so I'm hoping that it'll just, not really matter, it doesn't really do anything anyway, it's just obviously just holding it in. And also this one had received some damage to the nut, but I think probably when the heads came off, so the high E string buzzed like mad. I've got a brass nut that I've just not fitted yet, but I'm going to put that on it. I've sorted it temporarily just now, just by wedging a wee piece behind it, raising the whole thing up a wee bit and then cutting that groove. Yeah. What else about this? It doesn't have an awful lot of bits to it. It does have a cool bit in the back. See where the strings come through? It's like a metal block. I think you'd probably call that a sustain block. I didn't even notice there was a wee set sort of curvy bit there. That's pretty cool. Bolt neck. The neck itself, it's almost unfinished. It's kind of lumpy, but it's really nice. Really. At first I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. My pal Peg's got, I think it's a lag acoustic that's got a similar sort of thing. I don't know, it's maybe just a very thin lacquer on it, or it's just polished or something, but it really does cut in. Yeah, so just turn it on. And this crazy bit here, all that is just the way the strings go through the body. It's got nothing to do with... I know it's a lot of Godins have that. I think it's just kind of like their wee signature feature. So sounds. Well, I can't see the P90s. I don't know if any of you have ever played P90s, but they do sound a bit different from humbuckers and single coils. They're kind of almost the best of both worlds, really. That was just me moving stuff so I can stand here. I suppose they do hum a bit if you've got them up loud, but see when you're playing... Listen, I'm just playing through my usual Softtech Mix 60 and a rat pedal to make it sound like it's up loud. That's the guitar I can actually use the tone controls on. That was both pickups, neck pickup, bridge pickup even. Neck pickup. Take a wee bit of tone off that. A bit more off that. But obviously, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm kind of a bit more of a rocker. So the thing about this is the bridge pickup. When you put it up loud, it's really rock. Neck. Yeah, I do really like this guitar. I don't think there's really much else to say about it. But it's kind of funny because Godins aren't that expensive. Even ones that you get one that doesn't have a broken neck, compared to what you can get elsewhere. I mean, this one was what, 1999 I said. So I mean, it's getting on a wee bit, but I mean, I think they still make it, or maybe not exactly in this colour, but they make very similar ones. And see the entry level ones, which I think this is, they're brilliant. I've never played. My pal one ages ago had one of the ones with the synth access in it, but it was broken. The synth bit was. I wasn't really that impressed with it, but I think when someone tells you something costs £600, it puts your expectations right up there. Or maybe it wasn't set up right. I don't know. You had a tendency to put strings on stupidly, so they slipped. So as soon as you bent a note, it went out of tune, and it was like, yeah. But really, see the whole concept of having the neck lower in and having everything really recessed, so the strings are really close to the body there. You can't even get your finger in there. That's really cool. It feels really good. I remember having a shot of my pal's Rickenbacker, Simon. I don't think he's on Facebook or YouTube. And it was the strings were way out here because it was like an arch top. Then it had like a big. The bridge was almost on stilts, and the neck was, the neck was away out here somewhere, like just sitting at above. It was a really strange feeling because you're sort of like the opposite of this. This is really sucked in. You get right over the top. And I don't know, but I remember having P90 pickups, or it was P90 shaped, no, humbucker sized P90 pickups. I put them in my Epiphone SG for a wee while, and then I used them for something else. And I remember thinking that the P90 really is a sort of a strange sounding pickup. It really does kick ass though. I mean, it's. I suppose you'd get this is a Les Paul Junior, maybe. I don't know if I've ever actually played one, but I think it's kind of sort of going that way. To be honest, I wasn't that keen in the shape when I first saw it. It's grown on me though. It was more just the fact that it was gold, and I know not brand snobbery, but those are Seymour Duncan pickups that come on it as standard. I don't know what normal P90 sound like. Certainly those. I think they were called Fat Cat, the ones I had before. They were humbucker sized ones. Certainly were in the same. They were P90s. The sound's the same, but I don't know. That was years ago, and I can't remember. These might be better. I'm sometimes a bit sceptical about pickups. You can buy an awful lot of very expensive ones. I'm not sure how much better they are than the not so expensive ones. I mean, I know certainly the old Epiphones, like the SG I had really shit pickups in it. I think they put really bad pickups in it intentionally. Not necessarily to keep the price down. I don't think it costs that much more to use the right magnets and put a wee bit more wire on or whatever it is you have to do. It's like maybe an extra 20 pence a pickup to make them, but they've got to make the shit ones so that you don't pick up the Epiphone and go, oh, £300, oh, that's pretty good, and then you try the Gibson at 600 and the Epiphone sounds the same. So they've got to make it sound not as good as the Gibson. At least that's my theory. Whereas Godin, I believe it should be, don't do that. They only make one range. This one had a sticker on the back. You can see the residue, and I looked up other ones, and the sticker should say, it doesn't have it, but it should say assembled in the USA from Canadian parts or something like that. I don't know what the reason for that is. I assume it's some sort of tax break or something like that big. I suppose the Seymour Duncans are probably American anyway. Yeah. But what turned me on to Godin was watching a YouTube video for a factory tour with, was it Robert Godin or something, his name, something like that, the guy who actually owns it. And he was walking outside, he was so proud of what he was doing. He was standing, like, you know, in Canada with, like, the mountains with the forested hills behind him, and he was talking about the wood, and he was like saying it was like, I can't remember what kind of mahogany it was that they used for 90% of their guitars, because I think they're all made of the same kind of wood as a bass wood. I don't think it's mahogany, it's something like that though. And he was just, the guy just went like that, yeah, and that's our stocks over there, and he was just pointing at a mountain that was covered in trees, because that's where, you know, they've got like a national park where they get the wood, and then it goes and sits in that shed over there for, you know, 5 years to dry out, and then it goes over there into the factory and gets made into a guitar. And you're like, oh, I thought that was really cheesy and cool. Really like that idea of it being handmade. I suppose it was kind of handmade, because I think if it was just, it only says assembled in America, so I think that's me with the golden Godin. Some rock, I suppose. Up this high in this guitar. Four frets. Too hard to play up there. on that though. Always on that one. Again. Both. Rock on!